Hey there, and welcome to Happy Hour with your friendly neighborhood old bat. How y'all doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Here we are doing more videos. Thought I'd go live and give you an afternoon happy hour. Hey, four leaf clover fan, how you doing? Let's get started. Sydney Winston has got some Von Helton for us. Let's see what's up with the little creep.
When I was a boy, I went and I paid for everything out of my bank account. If I wanted me a car, I went and saved it up and I got me a car out of
Bullshit.
my bank account.
Bullshit.
If I got in an accident and I needed to fix something, I went to my bank account and I took the money out of my bank account and I paid for it to get it fixed.
Bullshit.
That's real talk. That's reality. That is the America that should have been. But see, we allowed communists wearing funny
Hey,
hats
Jesse Logie.
to come over here and take over this country. And many of them are still in our government as I speak. We need to eradicate that. We need to get rid of them individuals that are in our government that wear funny hats and that are communist. Okay?
Oh, no.
We need to get rid of the communists that have infiltrated
All
this
right,
country.
hang on. Let me go look.
And we do that and get this country back to being a republic again, everything will be great. But yeah, there wasn't no car insurance when I was a boy. Yes, leave me a message outside and I will text you on WhatsApp. Yes, ma'am. But yeah, think about this. Think about
You know what? I don't know if I believe her or not. You know, I don't believe anything that bitch has to say. I won't believe nothing until I see a missing persons report.
this, folks. There wasn't no car insurance when I was a boy. If you want a husband, then you need to message me outside of the chat here. Send me a PM, DM, message,
Hey,
whatever y'all
boo,
call
how
it
you
here on
doing,
TikTok.
love?
Send me a message. I'll get back to you. When I was a boy, there was no car insurance, and I don't think there was home insurance either.
Yeah, there was.
And if you had a problem, you had money in the banks. I already have, and you did not reply. Well, then I ain't got to you yet. I'll get to you. Just don't panic. I'll get to you. But if there was something that I needed to do, I went to the bank and I drew the money out of the bank. Okay, where am I from?
There was insurance back then, you freaking prick. Of course there was insurance. You got quite a penalty if you didn't pay it. Dumb son of a bitch. Oh my God, you're so dumb. Insurance has always been a thing since cars have been popular. And no, he's not 200 years old. He's 4 years older than me. I'm 58. I'll be 59 this year. Knocking on the door, 60. Knock, knock, knocking on the door, 60.
I am from, well, they say this here is the 7th level of hell. So I'm then. Now I'm from
No one
Hamilton,
really matters
Ohio. I
but
was born and
cats.
raised in Hamilton, Ohio, and I'm currently somewhere on Interstate 40. Maybe you can find me, maybe you can't.
Me either.
But I'm somewhere on Interstate 40. Anyways, but yeah.
I mean, I don't care about them, but I don't see anybody die either. No, that's the last thing I want to see. I don't want to see that happen. Nope, I sure don't. I don't even want to see anything happen to this old prick. You know, I talk a big stick about not giving a shit. I give a shit. Man, this is just freaking. Told you they weren't built for the streets. And I think, you know what? I don't know what the deal is. Jason could be bleeding out somewhere. And Shanny's too lazy to get up off her fat ass and go find out. Hell, it could be shacked up with another homeless chick.
When I was a boy, we did not have car insurance. We exchanged information, and then we took care of it out of money out of my bank, or money out of his bank.
Hey, Goldilocks.
There was no car insurance. What was that? Car insurance was
How you
pushed
doing?
on
No one
us
really matters but Cat.
because of a communist agenda. That's the truth. It's not Von Hilton's opinion. That is the truth. All right. And like I said, many of these communists that wear funny hats are still in our government to this very day. They're still in our government to this very day, and we need to be getting them out of our government. In fact, we need to get rid of everybody that wears a funny hat out of our government and get our government back to being by, and for the people. And that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. But yes, we got a lot of people that should not be in our government. Okay? Ain't supposed to be no communists in our government. No.
Okay.
Communism is diametrically opposed to the Constitution of the United States. How many of you knew that? Ain't supposed to be no communists here.
Hey, Donna Wingfield.
Not one.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Ain't supposed to be no communists here.
All right, I'm gonna ask y'all's opinion, and then I'll give my own. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe her. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. If you think she's just doing this for attention.
No. Yeah, communism is diametrically opposed to the Constitution of the United States. It's supposed to be no communists here at all. See, that's another thing too. You got these bleeding hearts that say, "Oh, well, we got to allow every opinion that's out there." No, actually, you don't. Actually, you don't. Anything that goes contrary to the Constitution is unconstitutional, and therefore, what class? Illegal. Why is it illegal? Because the Constitution is what class? The law of the land. The Constitution is the law of the land. So if it goes against the Constitution...
All right, Shani just posted on her community tab that Jason is missing. And I just asked y'all if you believe her or not. If you believe her, put a 1. If you don't believe her, put a 2. That's what we're talking about. Whether we believe Shani or not. Then I'm going to give you my unvarnished opinion.
Constitution.
And you know what? You're full of shit. It's always these assholes that draw benefits that want to scream, "I hate commies, I hate commies, I hate commies." And he don't even vote.
It is illegal. It is illegal. Take these sanctuary cities. All
hey,
right.
Vicky Victoria.
We're trying to protect these illegals that come in.
Hey, Trippin'.
By giving them sanctuary cities, right? Well, there's just one little problem with that. These sanctuary cities is what's called harboring a fugitive, which is against the law. And it's also against the Constitution, because the Constitution says that laws and rights are given to the American people, not to foreigners. Ain't no foreigner supposed to have constitutional rights. No, not until they become an American citizen.
Now, hang on to that for a second, Von Smello. We will get to you in a second. My unvarnished opinion. I think they're doing this for attention. I don't believe a word that comes out of her lying mouth. And just to play devil's advocate, and let's just say she is telling the truth. He isn't built for it. He isn't built for the streets. What's she going to do if something happens to him? Then she's got nobody, not a soul. If something happens to Jason, she has not one person. Left alive that gives a shit about her. Not one. I think that's incredibly sad. I do. I think it's incredibly fucking sad. Well deserved, but sad.
Now, when they become an American citizen, then they get American rights. But American rights don't extend to every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the world. No, they don't. You have to be an American citizen first. Then you can get your rights, American rights. You have to be an American first.
Hey, all my mirrors.
Okay. So if you're harboring a fugitive, that is a crime in all 50 states. Which means these mayors and these governors that are promoting sanctuary cities are what class? They're committing a crime. They're committing a crime, okay? They really are. All right, so what?
You know how many times they've cried wolf? And then kind of laughed in our faces. This last time, I kind of believed her. I believed them. I didn't think they were going to get back together. But, you know, after Shanny called him, I said, I knew it. Then it was all a fucking lie. It was all a damn lie. Come to find out. Man, this could be the one time that they are honest to God in distress and they need help and help won't come.
That means is that every one of them need to be rounded up, right? Yes, every one need to be rounded up. Okay, they just do. All right, that's reality. But yeah, you know, how do you destroy the United States of America? You destroy the family unit, which is exactly what Jane Fonda and Gloria Steinem did. They destroyed the American family unit. And once you do that, you've destroyed the United States. It's done. Stick a fork in it. It's done. And there ain't no bringing it back, I don't think, short of the gods intervening, of course. And the gods said they will intervene in a big way. They're going to intervene in a big way. They're going to come back and so I don't take advice from a guy living in a van. Well, you better.
That's a good idea, Donna.
You better. Because this guy living in a van.
I bet she comes unfucking glued. I bet she does. I'll be right back, guys.
Is telling you real truth. Whether you wish to believe it or not is on you. But I'm going to bring you real truth, whether you like it or not. But you better be listening to this crazy old man in the van, because this crazy old man in the van is trying to tell you the truth, trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. Yeah, well, people, people have had so much. See, A lot of the young folks today have been indoctrinated in communism and don't even realize it. When the government gives you things or tells you what to do, that is communism. That's not capitalism. That's communism. Okay? Capitalism is not going to come along and tell you what to do. That's not capitalism. Capitalism says, go out, do your thing, and raise your own boat. Raise your own boat. That's what capitalism says. Communism says, no, the government will tell you what to do. The government will tell you how to raise your boat. And the government will tell you that you got to have a whole bunch of people with you to raise your boat. That's communism. Capitalism says you go out and raise your own boat and do your own thing and be your own thing. Rugged individualism is capitalism. Right? Yeah. That's capitalism. You say, well, Vaughn, the capitalism that's out there right now, it turns me off. It ain't no good. Well, because what we got out there now is not real capitalism. What you got out there right now is called crony capitalism. Google that term, crony capitalism. Write it down. Come on, write it down on a sheet of paper and Google it. Crony capitalism. Because that's what's out there right now. Capitalism is not out there right now. Because if capitalism was out there right now, everything would be fine. True capitalism is not out there right now. What's out there right now is called crony capitalism. Google it. Go on. Write it down first and then Google it. But crony capitalism, okay? Real capitalism is not out there. Real capitalism hasn't been out there for years. Okay? Real capitalism has not been out there for years. What's out there right now is called crony capitalism. You want to write that down and then go Google it and read about it for yourself. Okay, so what we got to do, if you want to help the gods and goddesses put America back to being a republic again, what we got to do is we got to get these people that are willing to swear an oath in writing that when they get into office, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to destroy and dismantle any socialist or communist program that exists, and at the same time are going to give incentives and financial relief to the people so that they can save up their own money in their own bank account to fix their own shit. Right? Yeah, because that's how it used to be. There was no car insurance when I was a boy.
Oh, bullshit.
There was no car insurance when I was a boy.
Bullshit. How the fuck do you know? I bet if I call up my mama right now and ask her when I was a wee baby, did she have to have insurance on a car? Her you know what her answer will be? What the hell do you think? Just clearing it up, Mom. Because Von Smelton here said you didn't have insurance back then. Well, how old is he? He's 4 years older than me. He don't know anything. He was just a kid himself. That's how the conversation would go. Fuck you, Von Helton. Dumb son of a bitch. I hate stupid people. Just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it didn't exist, you stupid ass.
I went into my bank account and I repaired my own car. It was nothing to see me crawled under my car, fixing my car. That was nothing. Ask any of my friends when I was a little boy, if you can find any. But yeah, I crawled under my car. I fixed my own car, people.
Hey, PT Ham.
In a lot of cases. I was the one to put dual exhaust on my car. And I didn't go to no shop to get dual exhaust put on my car. I put it on my car. A software update is ready to install, it says. Okay, well, I'll get that later. But yeah, I put dual exhaust on my car. I put better tires and rims on my car. Okay. And I did that out of what? Out of my bank account. I went to my bank account, drew the money out to do what I needed to do. You know why? Because
Translation, I went to my mom and dad's bank account, drew out the money, and paid for it. Or they drew out the money and paid for it. You lying scum.
everything was cheaper back then. Everything was cheaper back then. Say good morning, Sherpy Dog. Good morning, Sherpy Dog. Say good morning to the Sherpy Dog this morning. Say, oh my goodness, I'm a good doggy. Say,
Wait a minute. Hold the fucking phone.
Yes, I am.
Thank you for pointing that out. You can't fix shit. You wouldn't be able to put washer fluid in your damn washer reservoir for to wash your windows. You can't put a battery in. You don't know where motor oil goes. You don't know where transmission fluid goes. You don't know anything. You know what? I bet I could figure out within 30 seconds where engine oil goes on any car. Because I'm not stupid. Can I work on any car? No. But I know the basics. I don't just put the gas in it and go. Damn. Oh, by the way, I like that your vent got stuck on hot. That's nice. Especially in a hot environment. No air condition for you.
Say, I'm a good doggy this morning. Yes, buddy. Oh my goodness sakes, Daddy. Oh my goodness sakes. What are we going to do this morning, boy? Are we all right this morning, huh? Say, yeah. Say, we're a good boy this morning. We're a good boy this morning. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Good doggy this morning. Yes, we are.
You know what? He's not that much older than me.
Oh my goodness.
He's not that much older than me. He's 62 years old. I'm 58. I'll be 59 in November. He'll be 63 in October. This guy is a fuckhead. He's just a fuckhead.
Yes.
Bite him. Ew.
See, I got a lick on my daddy this morning. I got a love on my daddy this morning.
No, he's trying to clean you.
Huh, puppy? Yes. All right, you big galoot. Get off me. You weigh a ton. You ain't like your mommy. You got your daddy's bones, not your mommy's bones. Yes, you got to sniff my hat and see if anything's going. What's going on with my hat, huh? There's something going on with my hat, dog. Can you smell something on there, huh? Anyways, but yeah, like I'm saying, but yeah, man, back in my day, there wasn't no car insurance. That's bullshit. That's a lie. There wasn't no car insurance back there. I went to my bank account and I repaired my own damn car because everything back then was cheap. Everything back then was cheap.
Someone needs to go upside his head with a damn boat paddle. I mean, for real.
How did everything get so expensive? Well, number one, because the businesses doubled their prices thanks to Gloria Steinem and Jane Fonda and a bunch of other communists. And then number two, you got the insurance companies that came along and started elevating the prices of goods and services. Okay, insurance companies is probably one of the biggest reason why everything is so expensive these days.
Bull.
Not even kidding. Because see, they figured out a way to literally raise the cost of goods and services.
Insurance has been around since the 1800s, Helton. It has been. Google it, bitch. I had one of my audience Googled it. Game, set, match. Mic drop.
And when you figure that shit out, man, you've pretty much damaged the economy. There's no way to recover from it either, I don't reckon. It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad actually, because you got to be able to recover the economy, and see, it's hard to get the economy to recover if everything keeps going up, right? Somebody says in the outside chat, yes, years ago I fixed my own stuff, not a repairman. There you go. And see, we knew how to fix it too. That's another thing. Is anybody being taught how to fix their own shit these days? No. Oh, just go let the mechanic fix it, or go let this person fix it, or go let that person fix it. Now, how did that happen? That happened because they started compartmentalizing everything. They say, well, Vaughn, what the hell's compartmentalizing?
Can you fix your shit? Why didn't you fix your shit before it broke? Can you give an answer? No, you can't. You weren't taught nothing. You don't know nothing. You couldn't even put your own battery in your car. My man, all you got to remember is the red is positive and the black is negative.
Compartmentalizing is where you get specific things for a specific thing. Now, I even saw this in my own life. Because when I went to trade school,
Yeah, he does.
I didn't learn general auto mechanics because they didn't have it. You had
I
specifics.
just came back on Turbo
You had
Ninja.
brakes,
Where the hell you been?
You had motors. You had transmissions.
I just came back on Turbo Ninja. Where the hell you been?
And I think there was a few others. I chose brakes. Okay, so I didn't learn about the whole car, right? No, I learned how to do brakes. And so if somebody needed their engine worked on, I couldn't do it because I didn't know anything about engines.
Well, you don't know anything about brakes either. Shut up.
What are you doing over there? Quit tearing stuff up. What are you doing over there, Chirpy Dog? You behave. Anyways, but yeah, and I saw this myself when I was in trade school, how they compartmentalized things to where you only did a certain thing. You didn't do everything. You wasn't a jack of all trades anymore. See, they compartmentalized.
How you doing, Turbo Ninja? It's always a good time to see you in here. Always. Vaughn, you're stupid. You don't know how to talk. No, what you're talking about is a specific area of expertise. Not compartmentalization, stupid. That's something totally fucking different. You are so woefully dumb.
As they made things specific to what you wanted to do. So, but I mean, you can look this up, okay? Back in 1950, the man paid for everything. If a woman wanted a fancy dress to go to a fancy ball, the man paid for it. If a woman needed an appliance for her kitchen, the man paid for it. If a woman wanted a picket fence around the house, the man paid for it. Man paid for everything.
Bitch. Anything. Where are you paying for shit? I ain't seen you work one day. Not one fucking day. Not one time in the 8 or so years that I've either watched you or covered you. I've only covered you in the last couple years. You have not hit a fucking lick. I don't know what the fuck your problem is, or what makes you think you are so superior that you don't have to put in the time like the rest of us. You disgusting, creepy little troll thing.
On one salary. One. Not a bunch of them, one salary.
Yeah, well, you never made a salary. You lived off the government, you chode.
Now, can we ever get it back to that way? Well, I don't know. That's a
Can
good
we ever get you to get some gainful employment? I don't know. Probably not.
question. That's a real good question, and the answer is I do not know. We'll have to see what the gods and goddesses have in store for us. But they say they're going to put us back to a republic again. I hope that's true. I want to see that happen, and I want to see America restored back to a republic again, where the man is the breadwinner and the woman stays home. Because, I mean, think about it. If the woman's home when the kids get out of school, are they going to be more likely to go out on the street? No. They're going to be more likely to stay home and play, and especially today, play on the Nintendo and the clicker and whatever. Get their clickers out and play their games and stuff. Right? But I want to see us get back to that day where we don't need insurance, where we don't need to have 2 and 3 jobs to get stuff for the house.
In other words, you want to take women's rights away. Am I reading you correctly? Oh, I will not be subjugated. I will not be turned into a servant. Never. So you can get that little pipe dream out of your head. I'm a soldier. I will carry that title to my grave. That is something you are not. How does that make you feel inside? That a woman did a job that you could scarcely dream of being able to do.
Okay, that's crazy anyway. But a guy here says, yes, I'm 53 years old and I fix my own stuff, not a repairman. So there you go.
Yeah, no kidding,
What was
Todd. How
that
are you
word that
doing
I
today,
said?
honey?
Crony capitalism. Crony capitalism. What are you doing, Doug? Capitalism is not out there right now. What's out there is called crony capitalism. If real capitalism was out there, there wouldn't be no problems.
You know what would be a good thing? Take people like Von Helton, male and female, misogynists, misandrists, the ones that hate women, the ones that hate men, put them on an island together. Give them all the supplies they need to survive and fix it to where they have to work together. And until they can reach an understanding, they can't come back.
But there ain't no capitalism out there. What's out there now is called crony capitalism. Write it down and then Google it. Crony capitalism. Real capitalism is not out there right now.
Oh, I'm
Okay?
sorry, Todd.
Real capitalism is not out there. I wish it were. Somebody says, I love you. Well, I love you too. I really do. Believe it or not, I love everybody. I love everybody.
No, you
Trust me,
don't.
I love everybody.
You love yourself.
I drove a truck and I remember a full surcharge going on food. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. Certainly. Hey, you got to hide your love away. Excuse me. Now, but anyway, real talk this morning. So now
Hey,
I
off
said all
Dixon,
of
how you
that.
doing, honey?
I said all of that to dovetail right
Yes,
back
he
to Gloria
does.
Steinem and Jane Fonda
How
again
did you
because
guess?
they tell the American women especially, oh,
Oh, shut the hell up, you misogynistic pig. You want all the benefits of being a husband without having to put forth any of the fucking effort, i.e., going and getting a job and taking care of the things that a traditional husband would take care of, such as mowing the lawn, taking out the trash, you know, being the emotional stability and support of the family, you know, being the pillar of the family. You can't have one without the other.
well, you don't need a man. You don't need a man. You can go out and do your own thing. You can go be your own person. You don't need a man. Okay. And then in the same breath, they say, oh, well, the man's still got to pay for everything.
No,
Well, now, wait a minute. If the women can go out and be their own,
no. If I was to somehow be by myself again, I would go Dutch. That's how I always go on the first date. I always pay for my own meal, so there are no misgivings. I do believe in equality, true equality, not supremacy, because there's a lot of things that men are just better at than women, and they've got it all over women. Size, strength, physicality. Y'all got it over us. Hell yeah. I'm not as strong as a man. I'm not even close. But I like being a woman. And it doesn't mean we're weak because there are things we do that a man can never do. So don't ever think I'm ever putting down my own sex because I love being a woman. It's just, what's not to admire about men? Shit.
Person and have their own thing and do their own thing. Why does a man still got to pay for everything again? Oh yeah, he don't.
Oh, hey,
Okay,
Lady
so
Starfire.
it's the old forked tongue thing, right? It's the old forked tongue thing. Talking out of one side of your mouth and then talking out of the other side of your mouth at the same time. Oh, well, go out
I'm high and rambling. Don't pay me any mind.
and be an independent, but still have the man pay for everything. Well, what does that do?
Well, that's why I said I would go Dutch if I was ever single, because that just keeps everything on an even field. That now I know how I got sidetracked. You know, it keeps everything on a on an on even footing. That's just the way I believe.
Makes men get very upset, right? Makes people no, quit yelling. I ain't yelling. Are you high? You're on drugs, man. Get out of my room. You're on drugs.
Yeah, I am.
Um, so yeah, so that when you're talking out of both sides of your mouth, what are you doing? You're just sitting there saying, well, you're trying to destroy something, ain't you? Yeah, you're trying to destroy America as we know it.
I'm
That's the
not.
truth. That's the absolute truth. And so we need to get back to what we had before if we can.
Oh, returns are
Well,
the
I'm trying. I've
worst.
got a little bit of wisdom to me. I got a little bit of wisdom to me. I'm trying to help out. Trying to
Wisdom.
tell people what's really up, Because a lot of
You tell people what's really up, huh? You know, who the hell are you? Do you think you're kidding? Who do you think you're kidding? You're not wise. You're not even a wise ass. There's nothing wise about you. You've never been anywhere in your life, not anywhere substantial. You've never done anything with your life. You have zero life experience. And I'm surprised you haven't been rolled yet.
people don't know what's up, man. They don't know how we got to this place. You got a lot of young folk out there right now that have no idea how we got to the place we're at right now. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you how we got to that place. And two of the biggest proponents of
Oh my
destroying the
God,
United
Todd.
States is Jane Fonda and Gloria Steinem, two communists now that came.
Oh my God. Who the hell would say something like that? That's just for damn ridiculous. People think they can just say anything. If you're going to take jabs at somebody, take jabs at for something they did do, not something they didn't do. Jesus H. Christ. Oh my God. I don't get it. I just don't freaking get it. Hi. Hi, handsome. Hi, handsome. Want to come up here? Come on, Jax. No? Okay. Now you. Never mind. On with the show. Y'all don't care that I have a show going, do you? Hell no.
Here and destroyed the United States. That's the absolute truth. There is no getting around that. Like I said, Jane Fonda, we got Jane Fonda in pictures
Hey,
and video,
Blue.
sitting there manning an anti-aircraft gun, trying to shoot down our boys up there that's flying around up there. We've got that. We've got the pictures. We got the video. Do I have a job? I'm retired. I'm retired. Why do I need a job?
Stop.
Somebody sent me a message request. Okay, thank you. Yes, if you want to send me a message request, please do so. I'll try to respond to every one of them. I say try because, sometimes I get bombarded. But I will try my level best to respond to the messages that I receive in the order I receive them, by the way. No, I am not an AI. Oh my God, are you serious? Look at this shit. Does that look like AI to you, brother? Does that look like AI to you?
I can tell you
Give
what
me a
he's
break.
retired
Holy
what
shit.
he's retired from.
AI. I ain't AI.
He did
Besides,
retire,
AI
Blue.
wouldn't come on here.
He did retire. He retired from living under a roof, from living in a house. And decided to give living in his car a shot. I think I hear thunder. How you doing, Blue?
And tell you the truth about capitalism either. Now, would they? No, they would not. AI ain't gonna come on here and tell you the truth about capitalism. Of course not. Of course they ain't. So we gotta get this ship turned around the right way. And the right way is to get us back as close as possible that we can back to a real republic.
He's retired
as envisioned by the founders, right?
Yeah.
What was it that oh gosh, try to think of his name.
Well, he's wanting to be a sugar baby. A 63-year-old sugar baby. Where can I sign up to become one of those? Nah, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm good. I don't need anybody else. I'm happy. I'm just kidding. Von Helton, let me break it down to you dumbass style. No one is going to fuck you. No one's going to fuck you ever. Ever, 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 ever. You stinky hobo.
He was a president. President Andrew Jackson. President Andrew Jackson. They go to Andrew Jackson and they say, President Jackson, what is your legacy? How do you want to be remembered, President Jackson? And Jackson looked at him. He got up real close to him and he says, I killed the banks. Then he kills over dead. But that's how I want to be remembered. I killed the banks. Well, what is he talking about when he said I killed the banks? These European folks that come over here that are communists and socialists, coming over here with their communism and their socialism to try to change the United States to be like them. We're not supposed to be like them. We're not supposed to be socialists. We're not supposed to be capitalists.
I could do better with a hobo on a 3-day tequila and blow binge in a cardboard box. And if anybody's got any tequila and an 8-ball of blow, just kidding. I don't drink. I make jokes.
Communists. We're supposed to be capitalists. Am I from Hector? Who the hell is Hector? And does he have a lot of money? Because if he's got a lot of money, I need a grant. If Hector has a lot of money, I need a grant. Anyways, But yeah, but yeah, Jackson said before he died, they said, "How you want to be remembered?" He said, "I killed the Banks. I killed the Banks." That's how he said he wanted to be remembered. Because the banks come over here with their socialism and their communism and all that, and try to destroy the country. And unfortunately, it worked. Sadly, now once all the founding fathers had died, and the ones coming after them that were still loyal to the founding fathers, once those people had all died, then they just come over and they took over anyway. Sadly. But the reason America is in the shape that it's in is because of communism and because of crony capitalism, fake
Damn.
capitalism, capitalism that isn't real. Because real capitalism says, go out there, start you a job, do your own thing. That's real capitalism. Crony capitalism says, no, you got to have a bunch of rules and regulations. You got to have this, you got to have that, you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, see, that's not real capitalism. Real capitalism. When I went to Kentucky, and this actually cracked me up, but when I went to Kentucky, because I was living in Ohio, right? I was born and raised in Ohio, and Ohio was already starting.
See, he's not from Kentucky, so don't pin that shit on us. I'm originally from Kentucky. I'm not really a Hoosier. I'm a transplant. I'm from Kentucky. So do not put this Ohio dum on us. He's from Ohio. Blue, he's your problem. What gives? What gives? Why are you giving us all your duds? You better take that shit back.
Go communist. Okay, even back then, Ohio was starting to go communist. But I'm in there, and I'm in Ohio, and I want to start a business, and I've got to have this and such. I got to have all these documents and shit, and I got to do all this and stuff, right? So when I go to start my business
Hey,
there in
Impress
Ohio, I
me,
had to
how
have
you doing?
all my paperwork in a row, right? Let me see your papers, please. So, anyways, so when I get to Kentucky, I want to start a business.
Choke,
I go
choke, choke,
and I
choke,
said, well, I need
choke.
all these, I need this and such, and they're like, just go start your business. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, don't I need this and don't I need that and don't I got to do this and don't I got to do that? I said, no, just go start your business. Because Kentucky at the time hadn't capitalist state. They hadn't went communist. And so when I went there and I said, I want to start a business, they said, well, go out and start your business. You don't need a bunch of rules and regulations put upon you by the government, because then it's not real capitalism, it's crony capitalism, and really kind of a faux version of communism, because if the government is telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, that's communism, right? Yeah, or socialism at the least. So she said in Spanish, I look cute. Oh, well, thank you.
You.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
She blind?
Yes, yes. Well, I see it. My Spanish ain't that great, so
You don't know any damn Spanish,
you guys
stupid
gotta help me
ass.
out a little bit. Which dovetails me back to Jane Fonda and Gloria Steinem again. Because I tell you right now, and this is true. I mean, these two women are diabolical, man. They were diabolical. They destroyed the United States. They really did, and it's such a shame. They really did destroy the United States, though. I'm not even kidding about that. They really did. And like I said, we got Jane Fonda on an anti-aircraft gun trying to shoot our planes down. We've got that on video and pictures. We've got that. Okay. So that's real. That's not something I dreamed up. That's real. We got that on video and still pictures. You can Google it.
Jack,
Yes, we're going to lead to something new. We're going to try it.
you
Well,
are
it
annoying
would be
me.
new for you guys if you're young. If you're in your 20s, a lot of what I'm saying now you ain't even heard of before, probably. Because the schools are not going to tell you. The media's not going to tell you. I'm the only one that's going to tell you.
Oh my
I'm the only one that's going to tell you the truth. And I'm going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not.
Oh my good granny. Ah, take a bath. Take a fucking bath. Well, come here, Jax. Let's show him how big you got. Come here. Come on. No? All right. I'll just sit there and meow at me.
When I was a little boy, first learning how to drive, I did not have car insurance. No, I did not. That's all.
You are a fucking lying piece of shit. Your parents had to have insurance on you. I learned, you know what? I knew about car insurance since I was 5 years old. Because my parents were talking about paying it.
A lie. And if they say I did, they're lying. I had no car insurance. I went to my bank account and I took out the money that I needed to repair my car.
That would have been in the
Then you
80s.
say, well, that's
Stupid.
crazy. You wouldn't
Wait,
have enough money in your bank
whoa,
account
whoa,
to pay
whoa,
it.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
actually,
whoa, motherfucker. Now you're talking about in the 80s. In the 80s, we most definitely had car insurance. You could go to jail for not having insurance back then. Are you fuck? Bless your heart.
did. You know why? Because the prices were lower. It didn't cost no $2,000 to fix a car back then. It cost about $10. If I got a dented fender on my car back when I was a little boy, it cost me about $10 to get popped back out. And so I just went and got it popped back out and went on my merry little way. Didn't cost no thousands of dollars. So how did we get to where we are now? Insurance companies, crony capitalism, and the destruction of the American family. Those were all contributing factors to why things are in such a shitty mess here in the United States that they are today. And
Yeah.
that's real talk.
Well, that's a
All right.
given, Donna Cat.
That you're not going to get talk like this from the media.
Yeah, you have to have at least liability coverage. That's been eons. That's been for eons. That's been since dinosaurs roamed the earth. You know? And this fuck is trying to say in the 80s you didn't need car insurance. That's some bullshit. When I bought my brand new truck, first thing I had to do was insure it. I had to fully insure it. Because it was a new truck and it was on a loan. It had a note.
Or from the schools, because they ain't going to tell you. They ain't going to tell you.
Hey, Revolver
Hey,
Bernie.
so Vaughn, why ain't the schools impartial? Oh, well, that's a good question. I'm going to tell you why schools ain't impartial. The reason schools are not impartial is because you have this group called the American Historical Society. Well, gee, Vaughn, who's the American Historical Society? Well, the American Historical Society, it turns out, is the ones that make our history books and our school books. Now you say, well, who is these people? Well, it just so happens that the American Historical Society is made up of people from Skull and Bones, a secret society here in the United States based out of Yale University. They said, Bon, that's crazy. No, actually, it's true. Actually, it's the truth. And so the American Historical Society has done what's called revisionist
That's
history
bullshit.
in regards to America's past. Now you say,
I'm sorry. That law in New Hampshire does not work for me. It does not work for me. Hey, little bit. Hey, girly girl. You want to come up here? You want to come up here? No? What's wrong with you two? Usually you crawl all the way up here. Well, yeah, come back when you can stay longer.
can you prove that? Yes. Because if you see a thing and then you go to a physical library and try to
Hey,
find
Rainbow
it,
Shines,
you
how
don't
you
find
doing,
it.
honey?
For example, let me give you an example.
Hey,
Okay?
Irv ruined his own life. Yeah,
Going
we
around
saw it.
on the internet right now is this rumor
I knew it.
that Ben Franklin was a member of the Hellfire Club. All right. So I got off
I
my
knew it.
keister and I went to a very prestigious library.
Thank you for that, Blue. All right. What about in Ohio? He said he was born in Ohio. That seems to be the one that's in question. A little bit.
To look and see if I could find it at the library. Well, guess what? It wasn't there. It was not there. There is no record in that library of Ben Franklin being a member of the Hellfire Club. It's just not there. So this rumor going around on the internet is what? Is a
A
rumor.
little
And that's
bit.
all it is. It's a lie. Because see, if we can paint the founding fathers as people that are liars and that are members of secret societies, then we
Okay.
disparage the
Right
founding
on.
fathers, which in turn disparages the country, which in turn gets people to not want to be American no more.
So you're a dadgum liar. Your parents paid for it for you and didn't tell you anything about it. Boy, your parents did you a disservice. Just because you didn't know about it doesn't mean that it just wasn't legal. You didn't have to have it. It just means they hadn't told you about it. And I find it really pathetic that a man your age didn't know what insurance was back in the 80s. I knew what insurance was back when I was 5. I knew what insurance was for because I asked questions and I listened.
Right? But yeah, I went to a library. There's absolutely no evidence. But see, it gets better than that.
Yes.
Because Ben Franklin is attributed, I don't know if he really said it, but it's attributed to him. Those
Yes,
things
she did.
that are done in the light of day are liberty. Those things that are.
Yes, Shani has posted that Jason is missing. I think she is lying through her tooth for attention and donos. And, she ain't getting up off her fat ass to go look for him. She was that worried about him. Don't you think she'd get up and go look? I would. Only the last person on the face of the planet that gives a shit about me, you better believe I'd go. If it was overnight, I'd go look. And by day 2, I would Be going to the police station. I sure would. And telling him that he's missing.
They're done in the dark of night.
But I think she's lying. Personally, I think she's lying.
Or what, class? Tyranny. Ben Franklin said that. What's he talking about? He's talking about secret societies. So a man sitting there telling you that secret societies are evil is suddenly going to turn around and be a member of a secret society? No. No. He's not going to sit there and tell you don't join a secret society and then him go join one at the same time. No. So there's a contradiction there, isn't there? Yeah. So when you go to the library and you try to find where he was a member of the Hellfire Club, you can't find it. Can't find it nowhere. So it's something that was created on the internet to make you not like Ben Franklin. And that was the whole reason. Now let's take the founding fathers having slaves, because that's a big thing too going around. Oh, the founding fathers had slaves. Okay, well now wait a minute. What did Thomas Jefferson say about slavery?
Hey, chicken tender, how you doing?
Do you know? Does anybody know what Thomas Jefferson said about slavery? You know what he said? Are you ready for this?
Hey, Tubian.
Write it down, boys and girls, because there might be a quiz later. Thomas Jefferson,
wonder where you got that from,
said that slavery was an abomination. Now, the word abomination back then was a lot more powerful than it is today.
You're an abomination, an unwashed abomination.
If somebody used that word back then, it would be the equivalent of me cussing you up a blue streak. Okay? So when Jefferson said that slavery was an abomination, is he going to participate in it? No.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
No, he's not going to be participating in it. He said it was an abomination, so he's not going to be participating in something that he truly hates. Okay, when you say something is abomination back then especially, if you said something was an abomination, that was something that you hated with a passion. Okay, you hated it. You didn't just dislike it; you hated it. But yeah, we're going to turn around and say that Jefferson participated in slavery? No. He can't make a statement like that and then participate at the same time, because he'd be two-faced, right? Yeah. And not only would he be two-faced, but he'd be called on it in Congress, wouldn't he? Yeah. But was he? No. So, okay, so what happened then? They never had slaves. They had what's called indentured servants. And he said, well, Vaughn, what's the difference between a slave and an indentured servant? Well, I'm going to tell you. A slave is somebody that is permanently owned. And by permanently owned, they're either sold into slavery or they're
So he's like the rest of the damn politicians. He likes gambling, he likes hoes. I challenge you to find a senator or any of the lawmakers or judiciary and find one that doesn't do that. You'll be hard pressed to find one that doesn't.
Passed down to relatives, but they never are set free. They will always
Hey,
be
that
in
part,
bondage.
how you doing?
Short
Thanks for the
of
$2.
a
Let's see what he
proclamation.
had to say.
Which is what, Abraham,
Shut the hell up. Von Helton smells like balls, old burgers, and shame. That's right. You got that right, that part. I want to thank you for that $2. That's very nice of you and very generous of you and very thoughtful. I appreciate you. You're awesome sauce.
Abraham Lincoln, which is what Abraham Lincoln did. He did a proclamation, didn't he? The Emancipation Proclamation. But short of that, a slave would always be a slave. They would either be sold or they would be handed down to a relative. Now, an indentured servant, by contrast, was someone that owed a debt. And once they paid off that debt, they were a free person. They were not a slave anymore. They
Yeah.
were not a slave ever, because an indentured servant is not a slave, because they are.
Our founding fathers were people. They had faults and failings. They were hypocrites, liars, and they'll talk your wristwatch right off your arm, just the same as any other politician. How do you think they got there? I guarantee you those men were crooked, but they created this country. They created this country. They were great men. They were great men. That doesn't always mean they were good men.
They're set free. Okay, so when all these people that the founders had paid off their debt to society, they were free to go. And that's exactly what they done. Because let me clue you in on a little secret, guys. You ready for this? Get up nice and close and listen to me. You ready? You ready for this? Here's a little secret I'm going to tell you. Guess who the first slave owners were? It was the blacks that came over here on the boats as indentured servants, paid off their debt to society, and they're the ones that were in the South enslaving other blacks.
Crack a book, Helton. Crack a fucking book. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Open a book. Go to a library. Take a bath first. And read a real history book. And do some real research. And indentured servitude isn't all fun and games either. Because they can extend your contract if they don't feel that your servitude met standard. They could extend that contract. And you better mind your P's and Q's. And you might find yourself on the wrong end of a whip or a rod.
Oh, didn't know that, did you? You thought it was whites doing it. No. Whites only made up about 7 to 14%, depending upon who you talk to. That's it. Slave owners in the South were free blacks. Free blacks from where? Free blacks from the ones that paid off their debt to society and were free men and women. And they went to the South and they enslaved the other blacks. Now you say, well, Vaughn, is there proof of this? Yes, there is. You've got a lot of prominent black authors out there that have wrote books on the subject. But you won't hear it in the media and you won't hear it online. Because if they tell you, then you know, well, wait a minute. Well, that changes the whole damn narrative now, doesn't it? Yeah. Somebody's busy playing pickleball, they said. Okay, well, go play your pickleball. I ain't stopping you. I don't know what that is, but go play it. Go play the pickleball. My doggy wanted to be.
You are single-handedly the most offensive person that I have ever met. There is not one fact that you had in that whole diatribe. And it made no fucking sense. You need to quit. Need to quit believing believing everything you read on the internet. That's number one. That's just ludicrous. That's just ludicrous.
He petted on this morning. Look at that. Look at that. My doggy wants petted on this morning. Don't you, Sharky dog? Yes, you do.
Whoa!
See, I want petted on, Daddy. Don't you? Yeah. See, I want petted on this morning. Look at that snaggletooth. Look at that snaggletooth sticking out. Do you have a snaggletooth sticking out this morning, Sharpie dog, huh? Do you? Lord have mercy. I got me a doggy this morning, buddy. Got me a doggy this morning, guys. Yes, I do. Got me a up. Oh, God, dog. Get off my cord. Get off my cord. Here, get off my cord, dog. Get off my cord.
Well, what?
There we go. Now we got everything.
There he goes.
All right, now let's get that. There we go. Okay. I don't know how I got all that shit up there. All right, get back here in the back now. Okay, anyways. What were the whites doing at the time then? The whites were fighting in the north against the southern aggression. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. And I will remind everyone that there was a lot of blacks that fought in the Civil War too, not just white folk. So keep that in mind as well. Keep that in mind as well. But now, why would they do that? Why would blacks fight in the Civil War? Because they were slave owners and they wanted to keep their slaves. Duh.
Prick!
Software update is ready to install. Well, good for you. I'll get to you in a minute. But anyways, yeah, if you look this up, folks, if you really do some real research and some real digging, here's what you're going to find. What you're going to find is the vast majority of slave owners in the South were not white folk. It was blacks, free blacks. The second highest group of slave owners in the South were Jews. Yes, I'm not even kidding. I'm dead serious. You can look this up. Now you say, well, Vaughn, ain't Jews white folk? No.
They earned his own
Ask
life.
Jews, they'll tell you themselves they are not whites. Jews are not white. They look white, but they're not white. So the first group is free blacks. Second group is Jews. And the third group, are you ready for this? Native Americans. Native Americans. I'm not even kidding. Okay, so the major group of slave owners in the South was free blacks, Jews, and Native Americans. White folk came in at a paltry 7 to 14%. Now, 14% is a little high. It's probably closer to 7%, to be honest. And that's the truth. That's the absolute truth, folks. But see, you ain't going to get that here on the internet. You got to go digging for it. Or you got to get people like me to tell you. But you're not going to find it on the internet. You got to go digging for it. But there's a lot of black authors out there that will tell you, whites were not the predominant slave owners in the
You are so full of shit. No wonder you got ringworm around your willy.
South. No, they were not. It was free blacks. Free blacks enslaved other blacks in the South. Yes, they did. And he said, well, Vaughn, so are you saying free blacks are the ones that owned them huge plantations? Yes, because a free black man had money. He had money. He had power. He had prestige, even in some cases. Not all, but some cases. Does anybody remember that painting of George Washington where there's a black man standing next to him, and that black man is wearing a top hat and tails? He's wearing a three-piece suit and a top hat, and he's standing next to George Washington. Do you realize, folks, that that three-piece suit and that top hat that that black man is wearing would be a month's wage? Do you have any idea? So did that black man have money? Hell yeah, he did. He had a shit ton of money for his day. He had a shit ton of money, or he wouldn't have been wearing that suit. You understand? Okay, so now you've got a convoluted distortion of history, don't you? Yeah, you do. And that's by design. That is by design, folks. It's all by design. It's to get you to hate white folk. It's to get you to hate America. It's to get you to hate the founding fathers. Because if you hate the founding fathers and you hate America, then America will be destroyed. They're thinking, they're
No.
thinking that America would be destroyed. But I've got news for them.
Let me ask you something, Vaughn. How can I hate people I don't even know? How, and I can separate their bad deeds from what they did for the country. You know? It's ridiculous. It is what it is. It's history. It's over 200 years ago. Why do I care that Ben Franklin liked to chase tail? Lots of men like to chase tail.
I've got news for the socialists and the communists and the evildoers and the haters and the elites and the royals and all these other guys. How was my night? My night was, I slept great. Yeah, thank you. But
Hey,
where
Master
am I
Wolf.
from? I'm from Hamilton, Ohio, but that's not where I am. I'm not in Hamilton, Ohio. I'm on.
I don't hate the Jewish people. I have nothing against them. Nothing whatsoever. Everyone is welcome.
I'm on the interstate. I'm on Interstate 40. But yeah, if you hate the
Yeah,
founders
same,
and you hate
Juby,
America,
same.
see, then their thinking is that America will fall. Well,
Yeah,
I got news
exactly.
for you. The gods
It's
and goddesses of
jealousy.
freedom religion said they ain't going to let America fall. They said
He doesn't have any ambition or any drive. He's not intelligent. He's not hardworking. He has nothing going for him. He's a born loser. I believe there are two different types of losers in this world: those that are born, those that are made. He's a born loser. His father looked at him with disappointment from the moment he was born.
they're the ones that created America, and they go and protect America, and they're going to restore America back to the republic that it used to be, where you had the little tiny house with the white picket fence and the house and the car and the garage and the boat and the 2.5 children and the white picket fence. Everything's going to go back to the way it used to be, and everything is going to be awesome. That's what they're claiming. And I'm crazy enough to give them the chance to do it. I am just crazy enough to give them the chance to do it. But yes, if you do some real research from real black authors now that wrote the books, you will find that the white man is not the one that's responsible for slavery in the South. He only comes in at a paltry 7 to 14%. That's it. And the 14% is too high, in my opinion. in my opinion, is too high.
Why? You know something, Helton? You don't need to be worrying about all this crap. You racist piece of scum. You anti-Semitic piece of scum. You don't like anybody, do you? You know you're not native, right? You're pale as a ghost. And wow, Jesus, you are shit. You're looking at your fucking face. I'm not saying you're ugly, but your face could turn Medusa to stone.
That's probably propaganda too. It's closer to 7%, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion, it's closer to 7. In my humble opinion, it's closer to 7. But yeah. Well, welcome back. I didn't know where you went, but welcome back. I've blown a whole lot of people's minds this morning, ain't I? I've blown a whole lot of people's minds this morning that did not know the real truth about what was really going on in this world. And now you know. And now that you've got this knowledge, nobody can take it away from you.
Yeah.
See?
Hope y'all were taking notes.
Now that you've got this information, see, nobody can take it away from you. And that's the good thing about it. Because now you know the real truth. Now you know the real truth. You don't have to speculate no more. Okay. Yes, it is, but exactly. I can't say it on TikTok because I'll get banned. But yeah, the person in the chat there that said that last comment there with the white bell, yeah, he's right. But I can't say it on TikTok because I'll get banned. Should I go to church this morning? Well, okay, I am all for spiritual belief. And as an eclectic pagan, I believe that everybody should be represented at the table. But see, you've got certain groups that don't want everybody represented at the table. It's their way or the highway. And I don't like that. And I've never liked that. But, but as far as everybody needing a spiritual component in their life, yeah, I do believe that.
Agreed.
I believe that everyone has a spiritual component about them. We have a divine spark, as they call it. And so as such, everybody should have some kind of spiritual belief in as such. And so, that's
me either.
That's my belief. You're free to believe what you want, but for me, I believe that everyone has a divine spark, and therefore there should have some kind of spiritual component about them. But see, what you need to understand is that the things that are out there currently are corrupted. They were corrupted by King George, King James, and several other highfalutin people.
Highfalutin? Highfalutin. Oh, wow, that's a good technical term.
Shall we say. And because of that corruption, you're not going to get the real truth. Now, you can circumvent a lot of that by getting your hands on the Gnostic Gospels, getting your hands on the Book of Enoch, getting your hands on some of these other esoteric books and reading them. That will help you. Now, I still think that monotheism is not the way, but if you're adamant about staying as a monotheist, then at least get the Nag Hammadi library and read it get the book of Enoch and read it and find out a lot of the things that you were denied in your youth, because you were denied a lot of shit in your youth, man. Trust me. You were denied
Okay, let me get there.
critical, need to know information. You were. And so by reading these books, see, you can get some of that back. Now, you say, well, yeah, well, Vaughn, they ripped out like 3/4 of the Bible and threw it in the trash. I know they did. I'm well aware that they did. And unfortunately, some of that you probably will never get back. And that's unfortunate. But see, there's nothing we can do about it because we're not back there. We're not back there to stop these people. And so there's
shut up. All right, we're gonna listen to Vaughn talk to us about why he lost his kids.
I'm going to be homeschooling them. CPS decided to pay me a visit on Thanksgiving Eve, where I've got a phone in one hand and I've got a chicken in the other hand, and I'm trying to, make plans on a calendar and with a hand I don't even have. And here comes CPS to muddy the waters. And
why did they come?
Yeah, the kids weren't wearing new clothes, and their clothes were dirty and they smelled, and they hadn't washed their hair, and all this, which was a total lie, of course. But Thanksgiving Eve, and the CPS worker actually messed up, because she was telling me about how they went in and spoke to my kids and stuff, and I'm like, oh really, you did you? But yeah, went right into school, talked with them at school without my consent, and I'm like, okay. So I've yanked my kids out of school, and I'm going to homeschool them from now on.
Don't you think that might increase the odds of Child Protective Services being concerned about your kids? I mean,
no,
because they do have the right legally, I think, to interview children.
Yes, if there is a problem of some kind, but there is no problem. Okay, my divorce was years ago. That's all done. That's all settled. In the 9.5 years that they've harassed the shit out of me, my kids have never been harmed. No laws have ever been broken. Okay, so no, they don't have the right. The government does not have the right to just come in and take your kids out of school. Okay, they can't do that. All right. Not only that, but every time they take them out of a class, guess what? That's an F. Your kid gets an F for that day. All right. So no, the government doesn't have the right to do that. All right. And I noticed my kids' grades were failing. They were bringing home Fs. I'm like, what in the world is this? My kids are straight A students. What the heck's going on? They were taking them out of class, asking them a bunch of questions, just whenever they want, just whenever they felt like, just waltzing right in there and pulling them out. And no, to hell with that. So I'm homeschooling my kids so it's effective immediately. And if they don't like it, they can go fly a kite, because that's just the way it's going to be. But the government does not have the whole point. And I explained this to the people at the school too, because the people at the school didn't know. The whole point of a constitution, folks, is to limit the government's ability to attack an individual or a family. That's the whole point of the Constitution. Okay, so if the government has unfettered access to your kids in a public school, what's the point of even having a Constitution? The Constitution has basically been made null and void at that point.
How do you
If the government can go into school and yank your kids out of class any old time they want,
because they feel there's something wrong in the home. You send them to school in dirty clothes and stinking. You don't think that breaks any laws? "13 times they had to come and correct you and take your kids out. 13 fucking times. What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, no, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? Then you give this cock and bull story about how the judge got sick and tired of seeing you in court and got tired of the CPS coming, so he took your kids. It didn't because you were a bad parent. Bullshit. It was because you were a bad parent. Yeah, they were pissed at CPS because they didn't make the final. They didn't take action sooner to remove the kids permanently. That was probably what it was.
You ain't got a constitution. You don't. Because the whole purpose of a constitution is to limit the government's ability against the citizen. That's the whole point of it. That's why the Constitution was made. All right. And it doesn't matter whether it's a Kentucky state constitution or the federal constitution. It doesn't matter. Okay. But it's a limitation on the government's ability to harass, harangue, assault, jail, kill the average individual citizen. That's the whole point. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Yeah, the government does not have a right to come and get your kids whenever they want. They'll say they do. They will tell you flat to your face. They'll look you right now and say, we can come and get your kids out of school anytime we want. That's a flat out lie. It's a flat out lie. They can't. They have to be able to prove that the child is in danger or that there is some kind of, altercation occurring, a divorce, settlement, dispute of some kind. There has to be a reason. Okay. They can't just waltz in there any old time they like and yank your kid out of school. Okay. They can't do that. That's BS.
I mean, I'm going to give you some heartfelt advice here, Vaughn. I think taking them out of school may trigger more focus, I guess, if you will.
I've had 9.5 years of focus. They can't be no more focus than that.
And if you do choose to homeschool your kids still, I would recommend actually that you put them in maybe a charter school with a home study program where they go see the teacher once a week. So that way it's state approved. I'm
going to be handling it through the Board of Education and everything. So
yeah,
you know something? You're too stupid to teach to do at homeschooling. You're too damn dumb, and you're not going to check on them to make sure they're doing their damn work. You're just going to get mad when they fail, and then you're going to give them shit. And then you're going to leave them to their own damn devices, and then wonder why they fail again.
It's all going to be handled through the Board of Education. GVR says, or GY6, how is that, GY6 or GVR? Anyway, GY6 says lots of hoops to jump through when homeschooling, Bun. You have to be very careful and keep precise records. Yeah, well, I know what they can do with their records, right? I'm still the parent, and the government is not the parent. I'm the parent. And like Andy Cap says, we do still have rights in this country, and I intend to exercise those rights. And if they decide to pursue it, then we'll have to deal with it in court then, because it's all going to court anyway. I mean, they drove my wife insane, destroyed my marriage, and abused my kids under foster care. So we're going to court anyway. All right. So
no, they got better care than you could give them in foster care. You really know nothing about children. Nothing.
If they dogpile on more in addition to that, that's just going to look better in my favor.
My heartfelt advice to you is, I mean, even though I understand, that you're feeling upset, with them taking your kids out of class and all that. But I mean, ultimately, it's a good idea to pretty much cooperate, and do what CPS says. If they make you take parenting classes or anything like that, I would cooperate, right? Because the more you fight, they do have the power of the state,
all right,
behind them.
Good night.
And ultimately, both you and they want the best interest of the child.
No, they don't. No, they don't, honey. Let me stop you right there, okay? Government's main purpose is to destroy the family. They want to destroy the family unit. Now, why is that? They want to destroy the family unit because a family unit is very hard to control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they want to destroy the family unit. That is the purpose of Child Protective Services. That is the purpose of DCBS, whatever you would.
No, the purpose of Child Protective Services is to protect the child. It is. And why it took them so many tries, I'll never know. But lucky number 13, they finally got you.
Wish to call it in your state.
Understood.
You know, that's the whole purpose of it, is to destroy the family unit, because governments historically have been very hard to control families. They can't control them. Okay, so what do? They get the family busted up and get you all back to individuals again. Then it's real easy to control you then at that point. Okay, so no, they don't give a rip about your family. You know, when they got my kids, when they come out to me on Christmas Day and took my kids, they shipped them clear out to Indiana, where they ended up getting abused. Now, admittedly, they didn't get abused by the foster parents. They got abused by the foster parents' daughter and their daughter's boyfriend. But still, they shipped them clear out to Indiana, where they ended up getting abused. Okay? They don't care. They don't care. There was no inquiry. There was no investigation. There was no arrests made. Nothing was done. Okay? They do not care. They really
You're
don't.
so lying.
All they see is potential dollar signs. Can this kid get me $3,000 ahead? You know, can I get you know, $3,000 out of this kid by putting it in an adoptive home or something? That's the only thing that matters to them. They don't care about family units. They could care less. Well, here's the thing. Okay, I've had the government harassing me for 9.5 years, and you know, that's enough. You know, I'm not going to put up. See, here's the thing. Here's the risk I run. If I keep them in public school, CPS, DCBS, whatever you want to call them, is going to continuously go to my kids' school, yank them out of class. That's another F. They're going to keep getting Fs over and over and over again. There will be nothing I can do about it. Their grades are going to plummet, and then they're going to say, "Oh, look, Von Helton's kids are getting failing grades. Let's go out there and yank those kids away from him."
Well, you don't look at their I don't ever see you looking at their homework or anything like that. Cat. Knocking on the bedroom door.
Now, if you can't see that that's a setup, I don't know what to say to you, man, because it is a setup. It is a setup. They send CPS out there, to go out there and yank them out of that class. They get an F for the day. Then they yank them out again, another F and another F and another F. Then here about a week later, month later, year later, whatever. Then they come and they say, "Oh, look, Von Helton's kids are getting failing grades. He is not a good parent. We got to yank them kids away from him." And that's exactly what they would do. That's exactly what they would do. Well, you know what? I'm not going to give them the ability to do that. So yeah, I'm taking them out of public school, because if their grades keep plummeting, that's exactly what they're going to say. They're going to say, "I'm an unfit father.
You
I'm
are
not capable of raising my kids.
You're not
We got to
capable of
get them
raising
kids
kids."
away from that evil Von Helton guy, by God." And I'm not going to let them do it. I'm not going to let them do it. I asked CPS when he was out here. I said, "Do you want me to leave Kentucky? Because I can do that." They never said a word. They never said one word to me, because they know I'm telling the truth. They know I'm telling the truth. It's all a setup, man.
So, you know, I mean, heartfelt advice here, Vaughn. I would leave my kids in school. I would make sure they're well groomed, well dressed. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, though. They'll never be. But that's the thing, though. They'll never be well groomed and well dressed to suit them. Never. Like,
Hey,
when they
Mr.
come out to my house on Christmas Day and take my kids because my house is cluttered because there's Christmas wrapping everywhere, what does that tell you? That tells you they just want to aggravate and agitate. I've been told, I don't know if it's true, but I've been told that they get yelled at if they don't take your kids. If they go out on a report and they don't take your kids, they get yelled at. Okay, you got people out here. Listen, I used to lay carpet down here. All right. I know how these houses look inside. And they're horrible. They are horrible inside. I've laid carpet in them. I know. They're a hell of a lot worse looking than my trailer is. Is CPS going out there and taking those kids because of the horrible living conditions? Fuck no. You know why? Because they ain't got a bunch of assholes on the internet calling them every 5 minutes. Well, here's the thing. I had a very interesting conversation with a Kentucky.
Prove it. Fucking prove it. I don't think so, Sparky. And I got to get off here. I got some things I got to finish up on my game and such and stuff. How you doing, Mr. All It Know? I want to thank everybody that came and saw me today. You guys rock. I don't care if you were here for 10 minutes, 10 seconds, or the whole thing. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. You know why? Well, do you? It's because nobody else will. Now, y'all take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Peace.